Hello and welcome today, and I am so thrilled to be interviewing Shelley Leggett. Shelley is the founder and CEO of Leggett Unveiled, and it is her mission to provide a safe space for women to connect with their heart light and discover their true path in life. So thank you to everyone that's tuning in for this interview with Shelley, and thank you, Shelley, for being here with us today.
Oh gosh, thank you. I'm so excited.
Thank you. I've been following you for a while, and I think anyone in the spiritual industry and who is interested in health and well-being, energy, as well as spiritual work, would probably know you best for your courses, Breath, Balance and Beyond, which covers mediumship, basic shaman work, as well as the 12 chakra system. And your other course would be Path of Grace, which is an 8-week course, which covers the mother wound, which also incorporates the gene keys.
Yes.
So on that note, I was wondering if you could share with our audience a little bit about your story and your name change and how your journey started, especially, incorporating with this summit, with the chakras as well.
Yes. So my given name is Maria Leggett. My middle name is Michelle. And I call myself a warrior survivor of childhood sexual molestation from a family member. And so at some point in my life, and I don't really know when it was, but at some point I decided that the happy person was Shelley and the damaged person was Maria. And so for many, many years, I didn't allow anybody to call me Maria. I just stopped it. I mean, I didn't mind being called Maria at work because, again, you separate yourself. But in my personal life, my husband knew me as Maria, as Shelley. My kids knew me as Shelley. And so, if they would try to call me at work and they would say, "Hey, can I talk to Shelley?" People would be like, who's that? Because I had just kept myself so separated. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize how deep into the trauma that I was because it was just part of my everyday life. And so when I started out my business originally as Lavender Potions, and I, started out as an aromatherapist and all these other things. And I just kept changing modalities and learning more and shifting and doing until I did some like serious, deep shadow work in the fall of 2020, because 2020 was, a difficult year for everybody. Business wise, for my business, I did very well, but me personally, it was a very deep shadow year. And so in December, Spirit and I sat in, because I'm a medium. And so I sat with Spirit in meditation, and they said to me, "Here's your new business name. This is what you have to do going forward." And they called it Leggett Unveiled because Spirit will not refer to me as Shelley. They refuse. So anytime I get a reading from somebody else, they always call me Maria, and they're like, "But I feel weird calling you that." And I said, "So don't, it's okay." So Spirit will only call me Maria. But what they did was they explained to me, they wanted my business to be Leggett Unveiled because I literally unveiled my own essence. I stepped into truly who I am as this amazing warrior survivor because I didn't allow the trauma to beat me. I didn't allow it to define who I am. It may have taken me until I was 52, but I think I look pretty good for 52.
Yes, you do. You're looking fantastic.
But thank you. But, I didn't let it define me. And so every day that I wake up, now it's a choice, right? Now I get to choose. I'm perfectly comfortable being Shelley, and I'm okay with people calling me Maria. So I knew with the business change that people would say, "What do I call you?" And to be honest, it really doesn't matter. I am more comfortable with Shelley just because I like the name and I feel like it fits me more. But Spirit said I have to go buy Maria for my business. So I listened to Spirit. They've never steered me wrong. And so everything that I've done has been about energy work. I mean, even with mediumship, right? You have to understand your chakras. You have to understand how your energetic body works, because we hold trauma in our chakras. We hold trauma in our aura. We hold these things there. And when we don't let them go, they become dis-ease, right? They become
Mm-hmm.
disease.
Yeah.
And so the one thing that the last medical condition that I am shirking is, and I mean, it's slowly leaving, is fibromyalgia. Many, many years ago, I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder, and I was on tons of medication. And metaphysically, right, I can look back at that and understand why I had bipolar 2 disorder, because I had Maria and Shelley and they were fighting each other because they wanted to be integrated. They wanted to be the same person. My little girl wanted to be heard. And so that's why the tagline for my business is "Let your voice be heard." Because so many women, little girls, it doesn't matter what age we are, we were told to shut up, sit down, and not be heard. And I'm
Uh,
not saying that this doesn't happen to the male perspective, but it definitely happens to women, in my opinion, much more than it does to men. And so it's really important to me that I allow women, not even that I allow, that's the wrong verbiage. It's important to me that I hold space for women sacredly and peacefully and in love, for them to be whoever they want to be and to say whatever they need to say.
that is
And
so
that's me.
beautiful.
Thank
So,
you.
what would be one of your favorite quick sort of techniques that people can do to put their chakras in alignment that you use, whether it's for the base chakra or the heart chakra for that fact?
So there are so many things that you can do. So one of the things you can do if it's quick, right? And this is only if you're at home, you can you can lay down, take a pendulum and see if it's swinging. If the pendulum, makes little tight circles, then your chakra is really closed and you need to open it. And so you can use white light to visualize allowing that light to come in, sweep around the entire chakra, and envision that light breaking up any pieces of gunk that don't belong, and allow the white light to sweep it away, kind of like a vacuum, and just allow it to sweep it away and open it back up where it belongs. And that's not to say that you can only do that at home, right? If you're at work, you can do the same thing. You don't have the pendulum, but you can be at work, you could be driving, it could be any of these things where you're feeling some kind of discomfort in your body. And generally, if you're in tune enough with your own energy, you're recognizing that, hey, my heart chakra is kind of off. I'm not feeling it, especially if you start to feel like a tight squeeze, or, you didn't eat anything that was really uncomfortable, but yet you're feeling nauseous. So your solar plexus could be a little off. It's literally just being very mindful in that moment, right? And I know this is like a big keyword everybody's throwing around, mindfulness now, but it's true. If you're mindful and you just really step into where you are at the moment, talk to your body. Step into your body, go into that chakra, and then you can ask that chakra, okay, hey, what's going on? What do I need to know? And your body will speak to you, because it's an energetic thing. It will speak to you and say, here's what's happening. And if you're not in tune enough that you can speak to that one chakra, then just use the white light. Bring the white light in, sweep it, let it transmute it and take it away, so that you no longer have to worry about that in that moment.
Thank you. So, what do you think that the chakras have become so more relevant with today's society and people?
So I believe that this is all happening because people are starting to open up to the fact that everything is energy. Everything. It doesn't matter what it is. This microphone that I'm talking into it's an energy piece. Even though it's solid, it still has moving molecules. We just don't know that because we can't see it. It's vibrating at such a low resonance that our eye isn't picking up that movement, but it's still energy. And so now that people are starting to recognize there's all this energy, it's okay, well, then what else? because you're learning and you're going, oh, what else? What more? What more? What more? And there's so much more out there. And so when you recognize that your body has a chakra system, animals have a chakra system, plants have a chakra system, you're now beginning to recognize we're all connected. You know, I mean, you and I might be on video and chatting over the internet, but you and I are connected in this moment energetically, right? Heart chakra to heart chakra, we're there together, you and I. And how can you deny that that's true? You can't.
Mm.
Energy is everywhere, it's in everything. And so when people start to open up and recognize this beautiful energetic piece, we are all connected. And because of that, I have this huge pet peeve where, you know, you see these memes and everybody thinks it's the greatest thing, where somebody will say, not my circus, not my monkeys.
Mm.
And that is not true.
I know.
It is your circus. These are all your monkeys. Because the way that you treat somebody else, right? If I were to have a bad conversation with a coworker or something, right? Then they're going to go and take that energy and they're going to spread it out to somebody else. It's this whole ripple effect. Everything is your circus. Everything is your monkey. Don't do this, hands off, not me. That's part of the problem that we're having in the universe right now is we have a lot of people doing this, pointing, oh, it's not me. It must have been that one. The blame game. Stop with the damn blame game. Take responsibility for your actions. You know, I am the only person responsible for my reaction to a question. I'm the only one who can be responsible for my triggers. So if somebody does something that I don't like, instead of telling them, you have to stop doing that, I have to recognize, why am I being triggered? Step into yourself and work on you. And when you start working on yourself and you start adjusting your chakras and you're recognizing your energy, watch and see how your world changes. I mean, it's amazing to watch it, right? And you can watch friends who you thought you loved and adored will step away because you don't vibrate with them anymore. And I used to get so miserable and so upset and go, oh my God, what did I do? And I would, you know, freak out about it. And I just don't do that anymore. Doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. It just means I have to recognize that they drew a boundary with me, that they no longer wanted to be friends with me, and I wish them well.
But that is so true. So this brings me back to your course, the breath, the balance and beyond.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that program there?
So Breath Balance and Beyond is a program that I am creating and it's going to launch in the spring and it's going to be a 2-year program. It is a deepened connection with mediumship, with learning, you know, pieces of shamanism, with learning pieces of circle, and with learning about your chakra system. So I've meshed it all together because I've been through mediumship training and I loved what I went through. At the same time, I would have loved to have had support personally because you're in these class with all these people, you're being vulnerable, you're doing all this mediumship stuff, right? Because it's mediumship, you've got your crossover loved ones coming in, giving messages, so you can get some hit with some really hard stuff. But you have to work through it. You have to work through your triggers. You have to work through what's going up. And mediumship isn't going to teach you how to deal with your triggers. So for me, it's this all-encompassing course that will help you to develop as a human, to help you deal with living, you know, being a soul living in this human skin suit so that you can start to understand why as a human things have happened to you and developing your abilities, because everybody is a medium. Everybody has the ability. It's a matter of whether or not you're willing to be open to it. So I just hold the space for everybody to open up and do what they need to do. And that's why I'm incorporating all these different modalities and all these things into one big course over 2 years so that you come out the other side understanding who you are as a person, working through your own triggers so that you can deliver messages to people around you. And nothing is saying that you have to be a medium on the other side, right? I went through all this mediumship training and I love doing mediumship readings. I love it. I would book them all day, every day. I love it. But I also love channeling, right? I love to channel. And so Breath Balance and Beyond was a channeled program. The Path to Grace, channeled program. I was told by my guides, this is what you need to do. So I would love to say I'm this brilliant person who came up with all of this, but the truth is it's not me. I listened to the guides. They said, here's what you're going to do. And I went, okay, thank you. And I just started writing.
I think that's the point, you know, it's things that are within us, but they come from above us. Yes.
Absolutely.
So now that the interview is coming towards the end, are there any parting words that you would like our audience to hear from Shelley?
You know, it's interesting as I sit here and I think to myself, okay, what do I need to say? I can hear spirit very clearly in my head, like they're yelling it to me. For me to reach out and to say to people, you need to trust yourself. Learn to trust who you are. Know that you are perfect the way that you are right now. And can you make changes? Absolutely, you can. Do you need to keep going to school for 10 years to learn, you know, all these different things? No. You are exactly perfect the way that you are right now. Instead of sitting here saying, well, I need to improve this or I need to improve that, accept yourself, love yourself. That's the best gift that you're ever going to give yourself, because once you love yourself for who you are and what you are, the face that you show to the world is so beautiful. And then you give permission for somebody else to do that exact same thing.
That is so true. Now, that reminded me, just let me get my phone out. There's a quote that I love that you utilised with your staff, and it was from Gandhi. You probably recall this one,
Yes,
seeing it's your favourite. Be the
it
change
is.
you want to see in the world. So how does that inspire you to go forward?
Um, So I had no support growing up from anybody. I was different than everybody else in my family. And I had no support growing up. And then even into my adulthood, I didn't feel comfortable around a lot of people. It wasn't comfortable for me to share my story about being a victim of sexual molestation. You know, there's always a blame game. It was, well, what did you do? And that's the most important thing, is the victim needs to understand you were never at fault. There was nothing that you could have done to change it. You couldn't have stopped it. It is what it is. And so don't ever say, I could have done this. No, you were the victim. It was not your fault. But we don't need to live in the victim mentality either. So for me, I am choosing to be that change where I'm using my voice and saying, and I've lost a lot of family members who now won't speak to me because I'm very verbal about the fact that I was molested by a family member. And for me, I'm willing to do that because I've had numerous women who will message me privately and say, you have no idea what hearing you speak just did for me. And I'm going to get a little misty, so give me a minute. It is truly one of the most precious gifts that you're ever going to get in the world, to have a woman text you and say, you made a difference in my life, because that was what I wanted. I wanted somebody to be that for me. And instead, Spirit said, you are that person for somebody else. Stop being small. Stop playing small. Get your ass out there and go do what you need to do.
Well, thank you, Shelley. And our interview comes to an end. But if you'd like to hear more from Shelley, the Tally Summit is from the 21st to the 25th of July. So Shelley will have some sessions there. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. And thank you, Shelley, for being with us today.
Oh, thank you so much, Joe. I truly appreciate it. What an honor.
Thank you.